out of 10 people in the country have got less than £100 spare after they paid all their bills and living costs. So
really?
That's a Bank of England statistic. Wow. So if you've got 90% of the country with very little spare cash, how can they possibly start to save unless something changes within their habits?
I earn £151,000 a year, but I only have £1,000 in my bank account at the start of the month. And that's because I budget my paycheck and this is my routine.
Hi, I'm Ruth and I help people with their grocery budgets in the UK build a stockpile on a budget.
Budgeting on a 2.5k monthly take-home salary in the UK. You're probably doing this all wrong using the outdated 50-30-20 technique.
My 42k salary with me plus side income. I got a salary increase this month and some back pay, so the amount that I got is a little bit higher than normal. So after tax, national insurance and student loan from my full-time job, I took home £2,863. So for side income, this was my best month ever. I made £4,090. I will have to pay tax on this, so I've set aside 50%, giving me £2,045 to budget with. I also earned £1,050 from my 2 rental properties, giving me a total income of £5,980 to budget with today. I started by putting £3,000 into my invest account. My goal is to invest at least £1,600 a month, as that is the exact number I need to invest every single month to be able to retire by 40. For shared fixed expenses, I budgeted £2,150 and I put this into the joint account as they are shared with my partner and cover our joint expenses for our current house and our rentals. The joint covers things like mortgages, council tax, gas, electric, food, transport, water, repairs, so I always put a little bit extra in there so that we've got a buffer. I then put some money into my sinking fund, so my sinking funds are not necessarily things that I will spend on this month, but they are planning for the future as well. So I put £200 into my Japan pot, £55.50 into my 30th New York fund, £200 into the Christmas pot, and this month I've given myself £200 for fun. So this is anything for me that's non-essential, like going out socialising, if I need any clothes or makeup, anything like that. I then put £100 into the birthday pot and finally £74.50 into the emergency pot.
So let's talk payday routine / my payday budget planning. I do feel quite nervous doing this. I think this is the first time I've ever done it and spoke actual numbers rather than using pretend numbers, but these are going to be my true payday numbers, the numbers I will actually be using when I get paid at probably midnight tonight. These will be the true things I'll be doing with my finances. I think that I have quite a good little setup for my finances at the moment, and I just wanted to share that to give people some inspiration. I don't have a super fancy...
Right then, let's get started, shall we? Welcome back to Blighty Blighted. Now, I've been getting even more comments and emails asking about how I manage my pennies these days, what with everything going through the roof, so I thought I'd have a proper chat about it. Blimey, where do I even start? I remember when you could get a proper weekly shop for a tenner. Now you're lucky if that covers a loaf and some milk. I've had to become quite the detective, I have. Every Tuesday I go through all the supermarket leaflets, Tesco, Asda, Lidl, the lot. Yellow stickers are my best friend now, I tell you. The gas and electric bills, absolute daylight robbery. I've got jumpers older than some of you watching, and they're getting proper use now. Heating only goes on when it's brass monkeys outside, and I've learned to cook everything in one go. Sunday roast becomes Monday's sandwiches, Tuesday's soup. You get the picture. Here's a tip from an old codger. Those fancy meal deals aren't deals at all. I can make a proper stew for 3 days with what they charge for one of those plastic dinners.
And I've kept my word. I pay her little £30 pet insurance. I think that is quite expensive for cat pet insurance, but she has the most premium flashy insurance. I just wanted her to have literally everything. They pay the vet for you. You can have a 24-hour consultation, video appointment if you need it. Anything should go wrong with her, that £30 I'm hoping is going to be really worth it. They've got great reviews. Then I spend ballpark, probably a little bit less, about £150 a month on travel, getting into the office, getting into London. So I put that to one side, so I know that's my money budgeted for my travel expenses for the month, just so I don't get caught off guard with my Oyster card running out or anything. An actual travel card from my zone to zone 1 is £260. It's much cheaper to just do pay as you go on Oyster card, so that's definitely something I'd recommend if you live in London. Also, if you've got any type of rail card, get that put onto your Oyster card as well, because that saves you so much money. So yeah, that £150. Then I have savings. So I spoke about our house fund, and the fact we're both saving £200 every month that goes into our house money to buy our next place, and that's going to leave us with about 20 grand in the next 4 years. So super easy, just 200 quid out of my paycheck, which I can definitely afford at the moment. And that will give us about 20 grand in the next 4 years, which we'll use towards buying our next home, which is really exciting. I then have a stocks and shares ISA with Vanguard that I put £100 into every month. So I'm going to put my £100 in there. This month is on the more expensive side. So £300 of savings is all I can do this month. Other months I might like vary that, but this month, that's all I've got. And these are just going into my like always budget saving pot. So £200 and £100, that's everything that I put away for like definite. So that's my like definite savings. If I can afford any more than that, I just kind of stick it into like my high interest savings account. It's actually not that high interest anymore. I think it's on like 3 or 4%, so it's not actually that good. If I can find a better one, I might move it all out, but that's sort of my like rainy day fund. So if I've got anything that comes up that I need a little bit of extra money for, anything fun I want to do, that just comes out of like that pot of money. So I'm not going to put anything in there for this month, just because I can't afford to this month. Then I did have a quite spendy month over the past few months. So I have £600 on my Santander credit card, so I'm going to pay that off in full. I think it's like 620 or something, so paying that off in full. And I still have £25 on Klarna because I put like a H&M order on there or something, so I'm just going to get rid of that and then probably never use Klarna again. If you saw my video, not for me. So I've got like about £650 I need to ditch in credit, and then that's fine, that's done. And then I have like my daily life expenses down here. So I've only given myself a budget of £350 for this month, which could possibly be low. I'm going to try and sell some things on Vinted, try and do some extra side hustle work with like YouTube stuff, maybe some UGC stuff, try and get that in to try and increase that, because I don't know if I can live off £350, but that's what I budgeted so far. And then I'm going to put £200 in my little Glastonbury savings pot, because Glastonbury happens in 2 weeks' time, and I want to have a budget about £500, I think. I don't think I'll need to spend all of that, but I want it there so I can feel comfortable if I do need it. So that's the £550, and I use like a zero-based budgeting. So add all those up, that's my salary. So and that's all my money accounted for. If I do need any extra, I can pull from savings, but I think this should be pretty comfortable, honestly. That £350 is probably the only thing that's concerning me, but like I did pay £600 off my credit card, so I'm sure I don't like the cycle of like paying stuff on credit card every month and then paying it off though, so I kind of want to get out of that cycle. So if I can keep to this £350 and not have to do this next month, that would be great.
So you want to save some money. Quickest way to save some money is to stop spending it. Have you got shit all over your bedroom floor? If you do, you don't need to buy anything else. Take the apps off your phone and stop torturing yourself. You don't need packages in the post every day. Know how much your electricity bill is? Do you turn your oven on every day? Are you using your dryer all the time? Do you know you can hang out your clothes for free? That's free shit right there. Hang your clothes out, stop being lazy. How often are you eating out anyway? Are you eating breakfast out every day? Do you get yourself dinner every day? Are you rich? I know the answer to that question. Make your food at home and stop being lazy. And then write yourself a budget. Do you have one of those? And when you finish that, make yourself a cup of tea. The tea bag from your own will cost you about a penny. And that's how you save some money.
Shopping on a budget, and this week we are shopping with Aldi. This week's shop has cost us £90.75. The majority of vegetables I buy now are frozen, and if I can, I always opt for the supermarket branded product, which are always so much cheaper and rarely taste much different. The only thing we really struggle with is crisps in this house. The kids love things like Doritos, which are expensive. I grabbed this cookie dough, which was £1.75, and the kids absolutely love it. I also grabbed some bedding for £9.99 and the candle for £20, which I haven't included on the full shop. If you don't know by now, these are the kids' snack boxes. They each have one of their own, and I put in their allocated snacks for the week. This has helped us save a lot of money. On top of meal planning, which is my number one, I cook meals that everybody in the house will enjoy, and this is another one of our favourites. I'll pop the recipe for this one in my stories. If you miss it, it will be in my broadcast channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.
That was so 2019. Everything is much more expensive, so let's use the 70-20-10 technique. First, let's deal with that 10%, and that's £3,000 a year or £250 per month. Pay yourself first and save or invest this. This should be in a tax wrapper in either a cash ISA or a stocks and shares ISA. Next, let's look at that 70%, and that's £1,750, and this is for your essential bills, things like rent and mortgage, your household bills, food and travel. These are non-negotiables and must be paid. Finally, you've got the last 20%, and that's £500. This is for you to spend on what you want. Things like going out for a meal, seeing a movie, your Netflix or gym subscription. You do have to live a little. Well, that's the breakdown for a £2,500 monthly take home. What would you do differently? Comment budget down below and I'll send you a free budgeting template.
End of the month, and as an HV Spark in London, £8,200 just dropped into my account. Time to see where it's going. Bills first, rent for a 2-bed in Battersea, utilities, broadband, insurance, all adds up quick. Then expenses, £550 on Scran and takeaways, £400 on getting around, £350 on nights out, and £700 on my gym and physio. Some say it's over the top, but you try climbing ladders and hauling gear all day without looking after yourself. Oh, and £900 a month goes towards my car lease. Yeah, the lads on site give me stick for it, but I like turning up in style. Finally, savings, £500 for a rainy day fund, £400 for house renovations down the line, and £250 for a holiday fund. Spreadsheet keeps me on track, otherwise I'd blow half of it on gadgets and pints before payday.
Whether it's a recession or other tough economic times, having a stock of food at home is a sensible thing to do, in my opinion. People with less money really should do this as much as they possibly could. Others will tell you online that you're stockpiling and you're hoarding. Well, I'm sorry. If the money runs out and stocks runs out, who do you think is going to suffer most? People with less money. People on ordinary income cycles. So if this is something that interests you, follow along for more and let me know in the comments where you're from. As you can hear from my accent, I'm Irish, but I live here in the UK.
Tomorrow is payday, so let's go through my budget for August. My budget this month comes from my salary and my child benefit payment, so overall I have £2,858.61 to budget with. My monthly expenses have pretty much remained the same, the only difference is my Sky bill. I called Sky last month and it was able to get my bill reduced, but there's an admin fee this month, so next month will be a true reflection on the new bill. Next up is my debt payments, and I'm keeping them the same as last month. All the cards are on 0% finance, so I'm not worried about those at the moment. Moving on to my savings pots, this is the section I find the hardest to budget. I think the struggle's been it's a mix of the summer holidays here in Scotland, so I'm just spending more money in general, and also I'm new to budgeting, so I'm not getting it 100% right each month. So this month I've tried to be a bit more realistic with what I put in each pot, and in brackets is the total that I have so far. I started a new birthday party pot for my son. I just had roundup switched on in my Monzo account, so anytime I spent it rounded up to the nearest pound and added it to that pot. So I'm going to add £50 to that pot and keep the roundup switched on. Also last month I moved my emergency fund into a savings account because I want to earn interest on it, because it's not money I intend to spend. And last but not least is my variable costs. This month I have included the food shop. I budget £300 for my half, my partner also puts £300 in, so then we have £600 for a family of 4. I also added in school uniform costs and also for me some work clothes, and I'm going to start giving my son some pocket money, so I've spoken to him about receiving £5 a week and he can save it or buy whatever he wants with it. It's also my birthday in August, so I've budgeted £100 for a little birthday night out. So that's the end of my third budget, and hopefully this month it works out the way I've planned. How do you budget your income? Do you do the same as me and give every penny a job, or do you do something else? Let me know in the comments.
This is how I'd budget a £70,000 gross annual salary as a 26-year-old with over £40,000 saved living in London. Firstly, £70,000 per year is £5,833 per month. I'm then going to use this website here, thesalarygutcalculator.co.uk, to come up with your deductions. Student loan, assuming repayment plan 2, is £320 per month. Pension, assuming 10% contribution, will be £583 per month. Tax, £1,053, which is crazy. National insurance, £284 per month. So after all deductions, you're left with £3,593. That is your take-home pay. From there, rent, I'm going to assume, is £1,150. This is currently how much I spend. I'm in zone 1, sharing a 2-bedroom with another flatmate. Council tax, we're paying about £100 per month. Water, we're paying on average £20 per month each. Electricity is about £50 per month each. Gas is 0, everything's electric. Phone bill, I pay £10 per month to go on giffgaff. Internet's about £20 per month each. Gym membership, I would pick a premium gym membership here. I pay about £90 per month. Groceries, I spend £300 per month. Eating out, I would spend about £250 per month. Food delivery, 0. You'll never catch me eating food outside. Sorry, delivering food in, rather. Drinking, I don't really drink much, but if I don't put a budget here, everyone's going to get mad. So let's say £100 for drinking out and £50 for drinking in. Complete waste of money, but whatever. Transport, if you live in zone 1, which is the case here, you don't really need much in terms of transport. I'm just going to put £100 per month. You can also cycle, and that's going to cut your expenses by a lot. Fun, let's say £150 per month. Household, so detergent, shampoo, period products, whatever, let's do £25 per month. Clothes, £50 per month. I spend less, but some people need to spend more. Online shopping, I spend about £50 per month there. Subscriptions, I only use Spotify, but if you need Netflix, Amazon, then that's going to be closer to £30 per month. And then lastly, holiday fund, let's say £248. So at the end of every month, we're left with £800. If we look at the 50-30-20 rule, we can see that your needs comprise 49.4%, let's call it 50% of your take-home pay, your wants 28%, and your savings 22%. So this is very close to the 50-30-20 rule. This is almost a perfect illustration. Amazing. Okay, so we've just seen that you're saving £800 per month. Now, what should you do with it? What I would do is I would follow the baby steps by Dave Ramsey. Your first step should be saving £1,000 for a starter emergency fund. This is to make sure that if something happens, like your phone gets snatched, or your laptop breaks, or your boiler breaks, whatever, at least you have a little bit of a safety margin to pay for those things. So let's start by doing this. Initial emergency fund, your goal is £1,000. We know that you're saving £800 per month, so this is going to take you just over a month to be able to save for that. After a month, you would be 80% achieved on that goal. Let's assume that's fully ticked off. Your next priority is to pay off all your debt except your house and education, using the debt snowball method. So right now we see that you don't currently have any debts, but let's assume you have a little bit of credit card debt. Let's say you've got £1,000 here with a minimum repayment of 50, interest, let's say 25%, then that's something you want to tackle. You're going to want to tackle aggressively. So again, because you're saving £800 per month, that £800 should go directly towards reducing that balance. So after a month, you would have £200 left, for example, so on and so forth. Once that's done, then your third objective is to save 3 to 6 months of expenses. So that's a full emergency fund. What I would do here is calculate how much you're spending on a monthly basis, which is about 2.8k. And then I would do go 2.8k times 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever safety you want. I personally like having a 6 months emergency fund. It gives me a lot of security. That way, if I lose my job or now the pandemic happens, at least I have enough money to keep me afloat for a couple months. So £16,800, I know I can contribute £800 to that on a monthly basis. Let's do this amount divided by this one, 21 months. It would take you 21 months of saving £800 per month to build a full emergency fund of nearly £17,000. Once that's fully built, what I would do is I would then start investing money. So yeah, that's about it for now. Let me know if you ever... Yeah.
My gross pay was £12,582. I then paid £5,492 to national insurance tax and my pension fund, leaving my net pay as £7,090. I always pay myself first, so £1,666 goes into my stocks and shares ISA, £300 goes into my Aussie investment fund, and £300 also goes into my crypto DCA account. Then I pay into my sinking funds. £200 goes into the holiday fund, and £680 goes into the emergency fund. Once I paid myself, I cover the necessities. £2,600 goes into my joint account with my partner for my share of rent, bills, council tax, cat stuff, and groceries. Finally, I have a £173 credit card bill to pay, which I'm only using to build my credit score, which leaves me with £1,172 left over for my day-to-day spending and me money.
So here is my family of four's monthly budget, and someone has asked me how much is my household monthly income for this budget. So my husband works full-time and he manages a care home, and he earns a monthly salary after tax of £2,143. I work in marketing and I earn £1,083. I work part-time, which keeps our childcare costs down. And then we also qualify for child benefit, so we get £159.60 a month, or every 4 weeks for that. This brings our total to £3,385.60. So once I deduct all of the budget that I've budgeted for, it comes out as us having £249.50 left for anything I've under budgeted and also anything additional. I said before that I'm really not that great at checking back in with a budget, and it's something I really want to do in 2024 to get more financially savvy. So I've started doing my expense tracker to compare what I budgeted and if it actually came out as that much. So if you're interested, I will do a video tomorrow showing you my expenses. Average UK household budgets. Where do you sit in the average? So these are based on the average UK household of 2.3 people. So the overall average budget apparently is £2,700 a month, and this has been taken from Nimble. And then how is it broken down? So rent, mortgage, repairs, we've got £1,485 per month. Transport comes in at £351. Food and drink, £336. Utilities, so your water, gas and electric, £270. Council tax is £139. Insurance is £100. TV and internet is £130. And clothing is £85. We've also then got the things that they don't talk about that are person specific, such as childcare. But where do you sit in the average? Are you bang on average? Are you below? Are you above? And also, what are we thinking? Because I think £2,700 a month on arguably essentials is a significant chunk of change. And if you don't actually know where you sit because you're not budgeting, then you should be, and you need to start tracking your monthly budget, however you do it, whether it's via a spreadsheet or via your banking. Get budgeting every month.
60k is the new middle class in 2024. In 2019, which was just 5 years ago, a 40k salary would buy you what we would consider a middle class lifestyle. But in 2024, that's now 60k. It's gone up. Let me explain. I'll just take my life as an example, and I don't even live in London. We pay £1,600 a month for our mortgage. We pay £600 a month for council tax and household bills. We spend £500 a month on food, and we don't even eat that fancy. We put £300 a month into joint savings. Our car costs £260 a month, and it's an 8-year-old car. £250 a month on relevant house and car insurances, £250 a month on petrol, £250 a month on trains, £150 on pet food and insurances, and £100 a month on phone contracts. That's without doing anything else, like, subscriptions, the gym, holidays, going out or buying clothes. And our total was £4,260 a month, which if you took the net salary of 60k with a student loan at £3,300 a month, give or take, that's literally 63% going to just what I would call running a pretty normal life without those other costs even factored in. We've got to do something about this, guys, so it doesn't go up to 80 or 100k in the next 5 years from here. It's just wild, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below.
Hi everyone, it's me again, Yorkshire mama, Gen X mum of 2 Gen Z daughters. The end of the school year is coming up. Everyone's done their A-levels, their GCSEs, people are graduating from uni. But this is mainly for those who are going to uni. And I hope it's of some help to you. It's about budgeting. And yes, I am going to use a crib sheet because I'm too old to keep it all in my old head. I know that uni budgeting sounds boring. And I suppose it is, but it is really, 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 really essential. Let's make sure you don't spend your entire budget in the first week on Deliveroo and just going out and partying. Number 1 is to know what you're working with. Start with what money is coming in. That's your student loan, any part-time job wages, maybe Bank of Mum and Dad if they're still running or haven't shut down yet. Add it all up per term, not per month. Student loans hit termly, not monthly like rent. I've no doubt, because I've been there, that when that money hits your account, your eyes will be popping on sticks out of your head. But you have to be careful. You have to be very, very careful, and you mustn't give in to impulse. Subtract the essentials first, the things that are necessary. So that would be rent, bills, transport, uni essentials like books, pens, stationery, or realistically, you're going to end up slipping into debt. And once you start, it's really difficult to stop. Whatever's left could be a bit of fun money, but it depends on how much you started with. There's no such thing as free money. Always remember that. Once you've got your termly budget, then break it down into a weekly budget. Use your banking app or use a budgeting app, anything you can get on one of your smartphones, and keep a note of every penny that's going out. Remember that when the money's gone, it's really gone. No trying to budget by adding stuff up in your head. That doesn't work. It's like those calories that you eat and then you forget and you think they never existed. Spending works in exactly the same way. Don't be budgeting by vibes, because vibes don't cover the overdraft. Be real about your food. Food is a sneaky budget killer. If you've got the space, do some batch cooking. Batch and freeze. Share meals with friends. It's not boring. It's a way of you making friends with other people and spending time together. It's about survival. Pret, Starbucks, all of those can't save you, no matter how many flat whites you buy and no matter how many stamps you get on your loyalty card. Write down every time you have that sneaky latte from Starbucks, the frappuccino, the chicken sandwich. Write them all down, because over time they add up, and when you realise how much you have spent, you will be livid with yourself, because you could have put that money somewhere else, or you could have saved it for a rainy day. Stop impulse buying. You don't need a new outfit for every night. No one remembers. Most people won't even care. Rotate, accessorise, or borrow between your friends. Your overdraft isn't a fashion statement, it's a burden. Vinted can be your friend. That means selling some of your clothes on Vinted in order to raise money to buy other clothes on Vinted. It's remarkable what you can find on there. If you go over your budget one week, don't just say screw it like you would on a diet. It'll be fine, hopefully. Adjust, learn from your mistakes, and budgeting's a bit like a group project. You try your best, sometimes it goes wrong, but so long as you get back on the wagon, you should be all right. The point is to keep trying, and if you keep trying, you will succeed. It's if you decide not to bother that things are going to start going horribly wrong. If you really have a secret passion for Starbucks or something like that, ask one of your family members to buy you a gift card for your birthday or for Easter, or just as a well done on how you did that project. Don't be spending your own money on it, because it all adds up. Being broke at uni is a rite of passage. Being broke with no plan is a complete disaster waiting to happen. That's chaos on stilts. Budget a bit, enjoy a lot, and remember, you can say no to that.
Right. That's my 2 pennies worth right there. If you've got any clever tricks for keeping the wolves from the door, stick them in the comments below. And don't forget to give me a like if this helped. Costs nothing, that does, unlike this bloody country. See you all on the next video. Cheerio.